Hello everyone, today in this video we will fight against the atmospheric character of our world around us, and we will just discuss about recent events that uh, there is a huge migration pressure on the south borders of US and mainly on the south borders of European Union. Of course, it's not natural, it was induced, and many organizations from the left in the Western world, like organizations coupled with Democratic Party and organizations coupled with European left, are helping these people to go through. In case of Europe, Mediterranean Sea, and in case of the United States, through Panama and few other difficult places like in Nicaragua and Honduras to go through to reach the US-Mexican border and go through it. And the funny thing is that recently there are some reports, please find on the internet, of some other organizations, that among these immigrants to US and to Europe, one can find many citizens of Russia, China and Central Asia. What's that? I will tell you, it's obvious. These are people who pretend refugees, and they will, once they get to the place of their destinations, they will of course pretend refugees, live like refugees, they will sleep. They will be sleeping agents. Once conflict between Western Bloc and Chinese-Russian Bloc starts, they will wake up and start sabotaging the country in which they are. Because, just to be honest, since the time of Nikita Khrushchev, Russians realize, later Chinese also realize, that despite the fact they are well armed and despite the fact they have strong army, which is true even today, Chinese and Russians, as strong as it can be, even in these difficult times, they cannot win in normal full-scale military confrontation with Western powers, especially with the United States. Of course, in case of such confrontation, they would really hurt Western countries much. They would inflict many losses to them, but they wouldn't win. And on the other hand, Western countries wouldn't be able to capture entire territory of Russia and China, geography and population really, as history during Napoleonic Wars and Second World War occurred, population really prone to terror and obedient to power and really hostile to invaders. It wouldn't be wise to invite them and try to occupy a huge chunk of their territory, the same with Chinese and Russians, because it would bring many losses on both sides and nothing good for it. So Russians and Chinese know that in full-scale military confrontation with the current West, despite the problems Western society have, they would still lose. They wouldn't be the winning side. So they are using old tricks to weaken the strong opponents. And we see that old plan presented by the guy who escaped from Soviet embassy in India, Mr. Bezmenov, is really realized. First, demoralization. West is already demoralized by the leftists who were financed by Russia. Later, China joined to financing them. They did march to the institutions in late 60s, really spoiled youth in the West. And later, after these stupid ideologies are planted in the society of the opponent, it propagates on its own, like all ideologies, especially the stupid ones and harmful ones, so like heresies. So demoralization already happened. Later we have of course the stage of the destabilization. So now by the immigration and different sabotages, like with this bridge in Baltimore and really influx of immigrants to Western Europe and to United States, it's happening. So it's already destabilization. Later when the conflict starts. Crisis will be induced. Crisis means that these guys who are entering as immigrants will start their actions and sabotage everything to make Americans and Westies, other Westerners, busy with their own problems inside, while Russian and Chinese armies and intelligence forces hope to advance and force West to give up. And after crisis, there will be a stabilization, which is understood, as Mr. Bezmianov said. Stabilization is nothing else than subversion, subjection to the Russian and now Chinese forces and accepting their rules and conditions. This is how it looks, and so-called fifth column idea is still living and now is being applied by massive immigration to the Western superpowers that are falling victim to their own laziness and to their own ideological trap of pretending, especially Western Europe, humanitarian empires and moral empires. So we see that there is a pressure of eastern border of Poland. The traveling agency of Mr. Putin and Lukashenko is bringing more and more people, trying to push them through. Now they don't have to do it because they pushed many provokers and agents through Ukraine by escalating the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, which started in 2014. They escalated it since February 2022. It pushed many waves of refugees from Ukraine, accepted really eagerly, unfortunately, by Polish population and Polish government. And this was a perfect opportunity to push also many provokers with them, including women who married many Polish guys on higher positions and now influence them. Some of them already divorced with them as it was planned, having Polish surnames and Polish papers. Now they are hunting for more influential guys as husbands to influence them. So at any level, everything works. Provokers, guys, ladies, whoever are there, and they are serving their own country they come from. And that's why waves of refugees to the countries that claim to be moral superpowers are the easiest way of establishing networks of of provokers, agents and sabotagists who will work for the country they come from when conflict between West and Chinese-Russian bloc will escalate. That is why this is what's happening and how it really works. So with these immigrants who are coming massively to the Western world, with these coming immigrants, also fifth column of Russia and China is coming together with them. And here we see blindness and stupidity of Western business political elites, and also we see how treacherous behavior of leftist organizations, which are also financed by Chinese and Russians, how treacherous behavior of also many Democrats is that they are helping these people, of course these refugees and these sabotagists and agents together, how they are helping these people to get in their own countries. Because we know that lefts are also taking money from Moscow and Peking, and that's why everything works like this. How it will end, I don't know, but we can be sure that already due to this influx of emigration, there is already a fifth column in Western countries, quite sizable one, and when things will start, these people will be activated to make as many problems as possible to the Western countries, to paralyze them and make them weaker in their response to the military action from Russian-Chinese side. This is how the things work, and fifth column, we know that these were people who were against the Republicans, and when Frankists were during Spanish Civil War attacking Madrid, they were there and they activated themselves when it was needed to enable Frankists and the nationalist side from Spain conquer Madrid. And this idea with fifth column, so sabotagist agents and traitors inside the country of opponents, is very old, but it's really effective. And this is the way how one deals with stronger opponents, because as I mentioned, Soviets realized it during Khrushchev, and Chinese also realized it recently together with Russians, that in normal confrontation on a large scale they cannot win with the Western powers. But by dismantling them from outside, like Bezmenov said, demoralization, destabilization, crisis, and normalization. It's happening in front of our eyes. We need to only take a little bit of effort to see it. And we should do it, because these are the last moments when we can still do something to save our world. All the best. Have a nice day. Bye.